Good morning, my name is Andrew Kerr. I'm the pastor in Bracken Reformed Presbyterian Church, and this morning we're going to look at Psalm 57. Let's read God's Word. To the choir master, according to Do Not Destroy, a miktam of David when he fled from Saul in the cave. Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me, for in you my soul takes refuge. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge till the storms of destruction pass by. I cry out to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purpose for me. He will send from heaven and save me. He will put to shame him who tramples on me. Selah. God will send out his steadfast love and his faithfulness. My soul is in the midst of lions. I lie down among fiery beasts, the children of man, whose teeth are spears and arrows, whose tongues are sharp swords. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. They set a net for my steps. My soul was bowed down. They dug a pit in my way, but they have fallen into it themselves. Selah. My heart is steadfast, O God. My heart is steadfast. I will sing and make melody. Awake my glory. Awake my harp and lyre. I will awake the dawn. I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises to you among the nations. For your steadfast love is great to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. Amen. And we know God blesses his word. Now, what are the parts of this psalm? Well, firstly, we see the place. David is in his cave, his safe place, but he knows beyond that, ultimately, his safe place is God. He describes himself like a frightened chick that fears predators or storms, and David hides in God's wings. He's like a mother hen, the wings of refuge. That's the place. We see his need for safety and shelter. Saul and his men who are hounding him present a threat. And there's dangers of two sorts described in two ways. There's beastly men who snarl and attack, and there's sneaky men who lay traps that he might fall into their pit. That's the place, that's the need. Thirdly, there's his means of escape or his hope. Prayer, he indicates, will blunt this beastly attack. He wants their teeth broken and their fangs removed. The foes will spring their own traps. That's what he prays. He sees them falling into their own traps that they've set for themselves. And beyond prayer, he knows there will be praise and is praise even in the cave. And dawn praise brings firm resolve to glory in God's help and deliverance. God, he knows, in covenant faithfulness and loving kindness will fulfill his purpose for him, his plan. We've seen the place, the need and the hope, and fourthly and finally the goal. Why was David pray? Well, not for his own fame. Twice we hear the refrain that he wants God's glory to be lifted up on high. David is made king of the nations and over the peoples to set God's fame above heaven and earth. And if that's his goal, well, he's confident of God's help. Where's Christ in this psalm? Well, of course, Christ always hid in God. And so through him we have pardon and power, because we can be tempted to lean on self or flesh, and he covers our feelings in this respect and helps us trust. His heart is full of the trust we need. We know too that the Jews set traps for Christ and snarled like beasts in Psalm 22 round the foot of his cross. They were like bulls of Bashan and lions wanting to roar and tear. We know that he in prayer agreed to be made their prey, not to escape. And in praise he fixed his face like flint out towards Calvary, towards the cross for our sakes. And for the joy that lay ahead of him, he was cast into their pit and left without any wing of defence. And he was raised up on day 3 and is now seated at God's right hand, Lord of heaven and earth, seated in God-man glory, with honour and praise to his Father. How do we apply this psalm then? Well, let's run for cover to Christ. This brooding hen, as he explained to the Jews when he wept over Jerusalem, who would not come to him, this brooding hen loves to hide chicks under his wings for defence. Christ is our protector. Let the Lord blunt fangs of men and make your foes trap themselves. Pray that you would be kept safe, and praise and joy will keep your heart. Remember Paul's jail song at midnight, noon or dawn. He had learnt from Christ, and so must we. And always aim at God's glory. That's where you'll be safest. Put first Christ's fame, because your enemies may hound and chase and snarl and lay traps, but you will stay safe and firm in God's purpose and loving kindness. Amen. Now we're going to sing Psalm 57, and we'll sing the first 4 stanzas. Show grace to me, O God, show grace, because I hide my soul in you. Yes, in the shadow of your wings, until disaster has passed through. I'll go to God Most High, to God, who works for me, He'll from above salvation send, my crush's shame. Yes, God will send His truth and love. My soul among the lions is, no set on fire I'm high among, no sons of men whose teeth are spears and darts, a sharp sword is their tongue. May you exalted very high above the heavens be, O God. Let your majestic glory be spread over all the earth abroad. Seek shelter in Christ. Amen.